sustainability is really cross-cutting, and it's for challenger brands, to make it very simple.
Yeah.
Is that you reduce waste, you use alternate energies to save your cost, and basically what is important now for these brands is that customers are no longer only interested in your products. They're also interested in how it is made.
Of course.
Basically, what is the life cycle of that product and where does it end up? So in a nutshell, okay, this is my view and most simplest view of what sustainability is.
This is Challenger Brands, helping you build better brands and businesses. Hosted by Illustrato, the brand development and creative agency for ambitious and audacious challenger brands.
Welcome to another episode of Challenger Brands, where we help entrepreneurs and brand custodians build better brands and businesses. I'm your host, Lalencio Benitez, Managing Director here at Illustrato, the brand development agency for ambitious and audacious brands. Sustainability is such a popular buzzword right now, but what exactly does it mean, especially for small and medium businesses in the market? In today's episode, we will try to demystify the complex concept of sustainability and answer the question, how can challenger brands or challenger businesses actually participate in sustainability and impact, and how we can align our business to the UAE's Vision 2031. Today, we have a special guest in the house, Munir Merali. Munir, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Lynn.
All right, just to give everybody a background there, Munir here is a thought leader in the region in sustainability and impact strategy. He's the co-founder and CEO of Samena Management Consultancies, executive chair of Synergies Worldwide. Munir has helped shape, this is a mouthful, Munir, and you have to be patient with me, okay, climate innovation, economic transformation, and digital education across the Middle East and South Asia. Today, I'm hoping, Munir, that you will help us demystify the concept of sustainability so that we can come up with tips that are actionable for companies out there.
Great, let's hope so.
Excellent. So let's get to it, right?
Okay.
First question is a big question, okay? So I said sustainability is such a popular buzzword. What exactly does it mean? How do we distill this for small and medium businesses? What does it mean for sustainability in business?
You are absolutely right. I mean, the word sustainability is probably one of the most overused and misused words. You know, when we first started our program at MIT on sustainability, when we looked at the syllabus, we saw that the first few weeks was a discussion on what is sustainability. And we said, why are we doing this? Because we all know what sustainability is all about. But then over the next couple of weeks, we kind of deconstructed the word and we tried to understand. And to simplify for everyone out there, it really means that how do we meet the needs of today without compromising the future?
Okay.
All right?
I love that. Let's repeat that. How do we meet the needs of today without compromising the future?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's the meaning. If you really distill it down, that's the meaning of sustainability. Now, there are three pillars attached to that. Okay? There are three dimensions to the word sustainability, the way I see it. Okay? So it's not only environmental. Okay, and this is something you all think about, you know, when they say sustainability, they say,
automatic.
Oh, environment.
Yes.
Okay, that's part of it, but that's not all of it. So let's deconstruct it the way we did it at MIT. One is that has to be economic viability. Okay, so we talked about, the business should be financially sustainable, right? This program may be sustainable after perhaps the donor funding is gone or after the government support is gone. So that's one dimension of it, which is economic viability, all right? The second, which is very important, and that's part of it, is economic viability plus environmental protection. So you're looking after the environment while you are being financially prudent, sustainable, and viable. And the third pillar, which is kind of interesting, is all about societal equity. Like, how does sustainability translate not only through economic dimension, environmental dimension, but also societal? So it's very, very important. To give you an example, during my 25 years with the Aga Khan Development Network, for example, we talked about energy in Central Asia. All right. How do we develop programs and projects that meet all three dimensions? All right. And then when we look at healthcare in Afghanistan, same issues.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? How do we keep those three pillars in mind when we are talking about sustainability? And similarly, more recently, our work in education in Bangladesh. Okay, so sustainability is really cross-cutting, and it's for challenger brands, to make it very simple.
Yeah.
Is that you reduce waste, you use alternate energies to save your cost. And basically what is important now for these brands is that customers are no longer only interested in your products. They're also interested in how it is made.
Of course.
Basically, what is the life cycle of that product and where does it end up? So in a nutshell, okay, this is my view and most simplest view of what sustainability is.
I love that you've given us a framework to think about it. Okay, you've given some examples, like for example, healthcare for an entire country, education for an entire country.
Yes.
Now let's drill down.
Yes.
If we were talking to a small business, can you give some examples of these pillars? Let's just exemplify it a little bit more so that we
Yes.
really hammer this down. So
Yes.
okay, let's talk about economic viability first in the
Yes.
small, medium business scenario.
Yes.
What's an example? Yeah.
So absolutely. I think one of the first thing you need to look at is that you take a look at your P&L, okay? And you try to see where you can actually help make a difference from a sustainability point of view, okay? So let's say that you are using certain type of energy source. So first, of course, we all try to reduce our energy, we try to conserve.
Yes.
But then what type of equipment are we using,
Yes.
right? What type of light bulbs we are using? And is it possible for us, perhaps, if you are in a greenfield site, for example, or if you have a large roof, is it possible to put some solar panels and to harness some of the solar energy? So these are not very, very complex solutions, but if you start small, the impact will come and it will help your bottom line.
I love this. If you start small,
Yes.
sorry, what was that again?
If you start small, the impact will
impact
be there.
will come, and then
And then basically what happens is that sustainability just doesn't become, I have to do this.
yes,
It is something to say that I'm involved in sustainability because it is impacting my bottom line.
I love that. That is so important because most of the businesses that we talk with,
Yes.
in the market, whether there are clients or people that we meet in the markets, they think that sustainability is an expense right now.
Yes.
They're thinking about, okay, I'm going to change the warehouse into something like this. We're going to acquire a solar system,
Yes.
all of those things. But it's an expense right now. But, they need to think about it for the longer term, right?
Absolutely. Two examples come to my mind very quickly. One, we just talked about the restaurant, the community-related podcast that you did. So one of the sustainability opportunities in a restaurant is, for example, reusing the cooking oil. Okay, so what happens normally is that once the oil is used, unfortunately, some of it is disposed in not the best way possible, right? But now there is technology available to collect all the used cooking oil and to convert it into fuel.
That's amazing. Yeah.
All right. Now, what does it take for you to collect the used oil?
Not much, really.
Not much.
Exactly.
And now, because the technology has advanced so much, there is a demand now of trying to get used cooking oil from the restaurants. And they are now being reimbursed for the collection of this oil. You know, second example I like to leave with you is that, you know, on a factory that makes apparel, right? About 10% of the fabric actually ends up on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, the cutting and all that. And normally they just say, oh, it's a burden now. What do I do with this? Okay, how do I dispose of this? Well, now there is technology available to break down that fiber and to create recycled fiber. So depending on what business you are in, there are so many ways that one can look through and see how you can be part of this.
I love that you're talking in very simple terms that people can actually really think about simple solutions. It doesn't have to be highfalutin.
No.
It doesn't have to be. Now let's talk about societal equity.
Yes.
How can a small, medium business owner practice this? What are the tips?
It's very challenging, right? Okay, so one of the things that came to my mind early on was how do we develop systems that provide, for example, education to the masses, healthcare to the masses, right? And small businesses that are getting into this. And let's talk about healthcare. Okay, today, by use of technology, you are really able to reduce your cost of healthcare. So if there's a medical center somewhere, let's say in Philippines, okay, in a village, right? How do we bring quality healthcare to the masses who really cannot afford, right? So today there is technology available through AI and data science, right? So basically, when you go into a clinic, they take a digital picture of you and they create a digital file. And let's say, you know, you do the first test when you go in, they take your blood pressure and your height and your weight and all that. Well, these are all done now by Bluetooth-enabled devices.
It's amazing.
All right. So what happens is that, let's say if I take your weight, if I take your height, okay, it goes into the system and automatically through AI, a lot of great things start happening. So for example, it tells you whether you are at risk of hypertensive, whether your BMI is outside the line, whatever it may be. Secondly, it eliminates the opportunity for mistakes. Right? So when you are writing sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
So now I'm seeing grassroots level healthcare clinics which don't have any pen or a pencil on their desks.
That's amazing.
All right. Now, the other area, if you push the healthcare a little bit further, is that normally when you take an X-ray, you need a radiologist to take a look at it, to study it and all that. And that's not possible in every place that we have been to, right? These are expensive. These are very hard, highly trained people.
Yeah.
Now you can digitize your X-ray wherever you may be, send it to a lab where first it can be read by AI. All right? And you get a response that your X-ray is clean. Only when they spot something, it goes to a radiologist. Now, for example, in screening breast cancer, all right, we have found that almost 95% of these X-rays are clean.
Yeah.
All right? Only 4-5% need certain intervention. Now look at the cost that we have just saved.
Exactly.
We have saved the cost of 90% of reading of those X-rays by a specialist. So there are many ways that even small companies, small industries can play a role in the society. and to bring equity through their intervention in sustainability, but also in terms of the use of AI and technology.
That's an exciting new frontier there.
Absolutely. They're incredible opportunities.
That's amazing. Now, with sustainability being at the heart of UAE's 2031 vision,
Yes.
what are you seeing in the UAE? What do you think it means for companies in the UAE? Like, for example, on our side, we're seeing some industries that are insisting on companies now having a sustainability policy. They wouldn't work with companies that do not have a sustainability policy. What's your general impression of what's going on in the region right now?
Amazing. First of all, my compliments and my admiration for the leadership of the country to take on such a bold vision. All right. Let's go back for the UAE. Let's go back to 2000. Okay, 25 years ago. Okay.
When you first arrived here.
When I first started coming here, from the region, the economy GDP was about 100 billion. All right. It was far more dependent on oil, okay, than it certainly is today. What has happened in the last 25 years? UAE has been able to develop into a global hub, right? And one of the success stories is that in addition to the Vision 2031 that is upon us, which is quite bold. I mean, we are looking at a GDP of 3 trillion and about 1 million SMEs working together. Okay, now that's amazing, right? But for challenger brands, okay, don't think that you are on the periphery. Okay, here is an invitation by the government,
yes,
right, to get involved, to be part of it, and to help drive this vision. And I'm sure that if you are open to such opportunities, don't look at sustainability as, oh, I have to do this.
Yes.
Or,
it's another box to tick.
It's another box.
Yeah.
Or it's going to cost me a lot of money. But just sit back. Talk to people who are in this field. Okay? Let them come in, look at your operations, and see how you can be part of this vision. Because I see immense opportunity going forward, leading up to 2031, because there's a lot of investments being made, and there'll be a lot of opportunities not only in the UAE but in the entire GCC. So I'm very bullish about the Vision 2031.
It's exciting. And do you feel that this is an inevitable factor for companies?
Oh, absolutely.
It's not a nice to have anymore, isn't it?
No. It is never, first of all, you should never see it as an optional. Okay, this is necessary in the sense that, first of all, sustainability is already part of our ethos. Okay, soon it'll be part of the DNA of the next generation. Right? So this is something that is very important. And if you go back to the impact that we're already having. So for example, okay, this is a real life situation. Okay, today, annually, some 750 million people in South Asia are affected by climate-related issues. That is incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is here. So when you find solutions, it's not that, oh, I have to, or I'm required to do that. I think you should be able and willing to be part of this journey. And I think this is absolutely important. In Bangladesh, where I spent some 10 years, annually, some 5 to 7 million people are displaced every year. Now, today, a city like Dhaka is one of the fastest growing cities in the world. It's already over 20 million people, right? And look at the stress on the infrastructure, on the social needs and all that. So, going back, it is not something that's an optional anymore in my view.
It's a necessity.
But let's not look at that way also. Let me share with you, let's say, an example of where the opportunities are.
Yes, please.
If you look at the concept of circular economy, okay, this is something that I hope that everybody really tunes in and studies it more in a more serious way. So what am I talking about? So if you look at plastics today, okay, what happens to plastics? Most of it ends up in landfill sites. Some of ends up in the oceans, ends up in the fish that we eat, and the microplastics are all over in our body today, right? It's a serious issue. So one of the projects we started doing in Bangladesh was that to collect the plastics from the rivers, because everything was thrown into the river. And today there is technologies available to convert that plastic into different things. So for example, you can make fabric out of plastic today. Okay, or you can make bricks that can be used in furniture, or can be used in walls, in dwellings. Okay, same thing with apparel. Today, if you look at apparel today, 60, 70 million tons of used t-shirts and jeans are thrown into the landfill sites. Okay, today there's technologies available to take those shirts and those t-shirts and to break them down and to create sustainable, reusable fabric. So, we can look at the doom and the gloom and say, this is something that, I don't want to get involved in, whatever it is, because it's costing me. I don't know how to do it. I think there are some immense opportunities in this wonderful area of sustainability.
Definitely. I mean, instead of wasting it, why not profit from it, right? That seems very, very obvious.
Exactly.
So why aren't all companies getting into it? Are you happy with the progress in terms of moving towards that area? What are you seeing in the market? Do you see a lot of companies actually getting into this, or is there still pushback? How's your view on that?
Well, it's been a mixed bag, right? So you see some great innovators out there. I just visited India a couple of weeks ago. And I went to Tamil Nadu, where, it's a textile capital, and, a lot of factories are there. I was so delighted to visit a factory in Tamil Nadu, middle of nowhere. Okay. Totally sustainable in so many ways. I mean, he imports used clothing. Okay. They are allowed to bring in certain clothing, which is for export. And I saw this clothing being shredded and made into new fabrics. I also saw a lineup of trucks outside the factory with plastic bottles. And I saw how plastic bottles were broken down and converted into yarn and then into fabric. So there are some incredible opportunities, and people are doing this on a daily basis. But you are right, it is not as widespread as it should be. And there are several reasons for that. As you mentioned earlier, one is that, I don't know how to do this. It's going to cost me a lot of money. Or I don't have the time to get into this. But find some help. Talk to your local government agency. Talk to some donor agencies. Talk to collaborators and companies who are doing it well. And study this field. And I think you'll find some wonderful opportunities.
This question is coming from a place understanding that most companies only look at ROI most of the time, right? How long does it take for something like this to pay off in your understanding? So if I was a medium-sized business owner, I want to have my own, whether that's a recycling program in the company or another sustainability type of program. If I'm looking at the bottom line, what would you say would be a decent target in terms of feeling this in the bottom line?
I would actually turn it around. I would actually say you do sustainability to improve your ROI.
Of course. It should be,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Take that view.
Yeah.
Don't take the other view that, I'm going to do
expense.
sustainability, it's going to cost me this. No. No. Take a view that you're going to get involved in sustainable practices, okay, to improve your bottom line, and at the same time be an environmental steward, right? So you have got multiple goals in mind, but I'm confident if it's done right, for the right reasons, okay, and you have the right partners with you, and you have the right attitude, I have no doubt that you can play this role. And at the end of the day, you are improving your bottom line. Let me add this company that I visited in Tamil Nadu. When I walked outside in the garden, I saw windmills. I said, you have, he said, yes, 50% of our power now comes from renewable energy.
No, isn't that interesting? That's very good for the bottom line there.
It's fascinating. And there's one funny story to that. I saw a few goats running around there. I said, do you have a goat farm also? He said, you know what? We have a lot of land here. They have 100 acres of land. And there's a grass growing everywhere. And they said, instead of hiring somebody to cut this grass, we started having a goat farm, and we started with, 40, 50 goats.
That's amazing.
Today we got 300 goats.
Wow.
Which are now generating,
that's
milk.
another business
That's
for you.
another business started out.
And you don't have to hire people to cut
your
the
grass.
grass. Yeah. That's amazing.
So, you just have to go out there, look at those ideas, meet those innovative people, and adapt what works for you.
And I like the fact that innovative doesn't have to be complex. Innovative can be simple thinking, can be simple solutions, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can do this in your home.
Yeah.
You can have a garbage disposal for recycles and for waste. I'll give you another interesting scenario we are working with through Synergies Worldwide, is that we have invested in a company out of Canada. We got food scientists working there, and we are collecting industrial food waste. All right, so companies that make large scale food products, and their waste that comes out of it. We are now working on a technology that converts food waste into fabric.
Wow.
So
into fabric, that's great.
Yeah. So here's a value add that instead of finding ways of throwing away the food, right, the food waste, and finding a disposal mechanism, we're actually buying it from them and we're converting into fibers. And many restaurants, right, around the world have got this food program that any food that is left over is then used for other communities that are around and all that. Yeah. So this is what it's all about.
Thinking about the big industries now, right? Some of the biggest businesses in the world are still not into this, or at least not into sustainability wholeheartedly. So we see planned obsolescence, we see fast fashion that ends up in landfills and all of that. Do you think are you seeing pushback from consumers? Is it becoming more, is the need for something game-changing urgent from the consumers? Is there a pushback? Are you seeing any trends around the world? Can consumers make a difference?
Yes, you mentioned fast fashion, right? This is one of the biggest issues that we have right now in our industry of apparel and fashion. And last week, we saw the first round of EU regulations coming in, which are for these are called extended producer responsibilities. So, for example, if you manufacture or you sell a T-shirt or a shirt, the EU government is now requiring for you to inform of the life cycle of that product. Okay, what's going to happen to that product? So already we are seeing fashion companies, retailers, actually have a bin now in some of these outlets where you bring your old T-shirts back.
That's very good, yeah.
And they're giving you credits, right? So if you bring a shirt back, you get $10 credit or $5 credit that you can use in the store.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they take those returned clothing and they have a system where it goes back into making of recycled materials.
Yeah.
Now, why it is not taking a widespread use right now, there are a few issues. One is the cost. Okay. It is still more costly to go through this route than using virgin materials. Okay. And that is because that technology is still catching up. Okay. There will be a time, I'm sure, that we'll have technology that will match the price of a virgin material,
Yes.
or hopefully even get cheaper.
Yeah.
Right. So we are hopeful of that will come through with a technology that will help these companies,
Yeah.
being adaptive to some of these opportunities that are out there. But right now it's not that easy. So that's why you're not seeing in a large scale move. For example, I was talking to a friend who runs a steel mill. So I said, how come you're not looking into the green steel? He said, look, if I adopt everything that is today,
Yeah.
I'll be about 30% more in cost. And today, the consumers or the buyers of the steel are still not really ready to add another 30%
Yeah.
to their cost to buy a sort of a green steel. So we are hoping that the technology will come in, reduce the cost, and make it more accessible.
Tech will catch up, but I think legislation will also catch up sooner or later, right?
Well, this is the issue,
Yeah.
and that's the reason why I say to everyone who talks about sustainability is that get involved,
Yeah.
right? But also get involved with the regulators. All right. The last thing you want is that you outpace regulation, and then we are in kind of in a twilight zone where things are happening and we don't know how to react to it, right? I mean, in AI, I don't know if you heard of this story last week that came out that they have created this actress called Tilly. Tilly Norwood. She's a totally AI generated actress. And now there's Hollywood movies out there who want to hire her,
Yeah.
right? Now, what are the implications of all that?
Yeah. I don't want to think about it, actually. It's a
Yeah.
bit scary. It's exciting, but it's a bit scary. Yeah.
Exactly. So I always urge that innovators
Yeah.
work with the regulators, so keep in pace. Cryptocurrencies and others are another example of that where innovation is outpaced regulations.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have to catch up. And then sometimes when you make these investments and the regulators change the game, so you actually lose out. So it's very important that we try to keep up with each other.
Yeah. Work together.
Absolutely.
This is Challenger Brands. Please subscribe to our channel and share our content. Follow us on our agency's social media pages, illustrato.co, on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, or subscribe to our newsletter via our website, www.illustrato.co.
Munir, sustainability is also a very much abused term, I think, because a lot of companies are into the whole greenwashing trend. It's some companies use it as a marketing stunt. When you look about these things, what's a sustainability trend or tactic that is not working? What should companies not do?
This is a great question, because there are a lot of issues, a lot
Yeah.
of challenges going on, with any new idea, new technology, new ventures, there'll always be, issues that we need to sort out. Well, let me give you one example. It's a practical example. We talked about used plastic bottles being recycled. Now, very interestingly enough, because the demand now has outstripped the supply.
Yeah.
If you look at any of your plastic bottles today, there's a commitment made, right? That 25% or 50% or whatever it is, this bottle has used recycled plastic. So now we are running out of recycled plastics. Okay, so there are actually some companies out there, which are making plastic bottles never to be used, but to be put into the recycle mode.
Wow.
Now that's not impact.
It's just crazy how this has turned around, yeah?
Well, this is it, right? So that's what I'm saying, is that, when technology starts outpacing our own supply and demand curves, this is what's going to happen, right? So how do these companies now look for this plastics and to figure out how do we live up to that to that commitment? And you know very well that many good companies have made some very ambitious targets, right? They're saying, oh, by 2030 we'll do this, by 2040 we'll be carbon neutral and all that. And I'm afraid that this will be a challenge, and many of these companies will have to perhaps revise their targets. And also, unfortunately, some of this has become political.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, so I think they need to balance all that to make sure that, they remain on the path towards sustainability. Now, let me add that those companies, for example, if they made certain commitments, let's go back to the fashion brands, right? Christian Dior, Chanel, others have made some commitments, and this is out of the good intent.
Yeah.
Right. They're really wanting to go to carbon neutral as quickly as possible, but perhaps because of their current manufacturing processes or whatever it may be, they may not be able to reach that on their own. So what option we had is the market of carbon credits, right? So companies used to go out there and buy carbon credits and say, okay, while we are not able to kind of, meet our targets for now, we are supporting those who are reducing the carbon footprint, right?
Yeah.
So that was, but now even that industry is under a little bit of a scrutiny.
Yeah.
Because certain carbon credits, turn out to be, not of the quality that you wanted to get into. And unfortunately, some companies even got into manufacturing carbon credits by buying certain forests and things like that, and then converting into So the whole concept is that. So, for example, if you look at the forest, okay, my understanding is that a carbon credit would be issued if normally that forest or that plantation or those trees would need to be cut. Okay, but if you go in the middle of nowhere and say, oh, this is the farm and we are now selling carbon credits because we are preserving this farm. Yeah. Well, this farm was going to be preserved anyway.
Anyway, you're not saving anything.
You're not saving anything. Yeah. But then you are generating such carbon credits. This is an issue.
It's artificial, yeah.
Yeah, this is an issue. And also, we are all waiting for a more structured, transparent, carbon credits market, okay, which is really difficult to come together. So there are now private companies which go and do audits of companies that are generating such carbon credits. They are doing an audit cycle. They are verifying the carbon credits, and then they market those credits on the platform. And so this is one way that
oversight,
that certain organizations have come forward again as a business, right? Because they charge you for the auditing, they charge you for authenticities, they charge you for verifying and certifying your carbon credits, and they help you sell the carbon credits. But I think what's missing here is really, while I applaud the private sector getting into this, which I think is important, but I like to see more governments, especially developing governments, get into this and develop a carbon market within their own countries. Okay? Because one of the things is that let's say that a country A invest in country B, and that factory generates certain carbon credits. When those credits are sold, it is likely that those revenues go to the country B. So if there was certain government intervention, then I would like to see more of those resources stay in the country.
Yes.
So the government can have certain resources where they can champion, they can accelerate
I see.
invention
Yeah.
and other technology means within their own country.
Yeah.
So I think there are issues.
There are
You know,
issues.
There
Yeah.
are issues there. And of course, the other thing you talked about is greenwashing.
Greenwashing. Yeah.
So this is something that we need to be very careful about. And one way of doing this is that every company, when it makes a claim of the carbon footprint or what they are saving, they usually create or do an analysis called the life cycle analysis of the product. Okay. And you can get copies of that. And you can go through it and see what assumptions they made.
Yeah.
So for example, let's say a company is making plastic bottles and they're making glass bottles. Let's say for Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm giving them a plug. Okay. Coca-Cola can issue a life cycle analysis to say that, for example, the glass bottle is much more sustainable for these reasons.
Yeah.
All right. Now you need to go through all that assumptions and you need to do analyze of the life
Yes,
cycle report to make sure that that's
They're
actually
doing the-
true. So
yeah.
if you see a company making a claim,
Yes.
this is one way of kind of testing it out
Yeah.
because they must have done a
Yeah.
life cycle report.
And it's great. I think people are becoming more and more aware, so they hold companies into account.
Yes.
We see this across the globe.
Yes. And they should. And certainly regulators should check those reports out
Definitely.
because you don't want to mislead the consumer.
Yeah.
And when those reports are kind of tweaked in a way
Yeah.
or not everything is taken into consideration in coming out with a carbon footprint.
Definitely.
So instead of saying to the consumer that buy my product in a glass bottle is better, and I'm charging you $1 more. But when a consumer is buying that, thinking that that's the case, but is it?
Yeah.
And
So
I
as
think that-
consumers, we should be more discerning as well. Participate.
Absolutely. Well, that's
Everybody's
what
got
it
a
is.
role.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Q4 right now. People are planning for 2026. What's the first step that challenger brands, SMEs, can take towards sustainability? What's the first one or two things that they can do to get into this?
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's another very practical question. Again, what I would do is that I would look at your business model. Okay, what are you making? How are you making it? And how are you selling it? Okay, so how are you making it? Okay, where are you getting your inputs from? Okay, have you gone back and looked at the companies that you're buying from? So for example, let's go back to the restaurant. Okay, it would be very interesting to find out, for example, in the UAE where almost 95% of the products are imported, unfortunately, right? Because we have a very limited arable land here. So the question for me would be, is that if you're a restaurant in the UAE, ask the question, where are these tomatoes coming from? Where is the meat coming from? And ask your suppliers that what is the carbon footprint on some of the products that you're getting. All right? And see if there are alternatives. Okay? Make
That's
sure
great. We have choices.
Yeah,
we can
maintain
make
your
choices.
quality. Right? Maintain your quality. Just asking those questions, you can start playing a role. Second thing is that, how are you making your products? Okay, so for example, if you're using electricity in your kitchen for different things. How about alternate energy? How about gas?
Yeah.
Is it possible for you to switch to gas?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If that is not possible, is it possible for you to add certain solar panels on your roof if you have that opportunity?
Yeah.
And can you change the source of your energy? Okay. And can you save money doing that? Certainly going to gas is cheaper,
Yeah.
you know. Thirdly is that, for example, when you're making your products and you're selling it to your customers, what are you doing with the waste? Right?
That's a very good question.
Yeah. What are you doing with
Yeah.
your waste? Are you just throwing it in the garbage? Are you finding ways to recycle it? Are you finding ways of selling it to people that to companies that are doing something with it? Okay. And so on. And so take a look at your business model, break it down, and under each line item, see where are the opportunities.
Ask the question. Yeah.
Ask the question. Again, if you need help, there are many people out here who are doing some incredible work in sustainability. You know, you can bring them in, they can do an audit for you. They can give you a process whereby, you know, you can be part of it. And it does not cost. It does not cost a lot of money to get involved.
Yeah.
As I said, you can get involved in your own home.
Yeah. True.
You know, so it is not the budget you should look at. It is the intent you should look at,
Yeah.
which is more important.
Of course. Yeah. And for some companies that are into ROI, how much can you gain out of that? That's a big motivator.
I would be very surprised that if you did this audit for any business, you will improve your bottom line. At the same time,
I can see that. Yeah.
at the same time, you're playing a role. You know, takeaway containers. Right? This is the big thing, right? So you have a lot of, in Dubai, there's a lot of things that are delivered to your home. Okay. Now, how many containers you get in your home that you say, oh my God, this is plastic stuff and all that. So how many containers can be moved to cardboard and other types of materials that can be sustainable? And you never know. Maybe the cost is the same, or even at times maybe lower. I don't know. So you need to go through that
Explore
and
opportunities there.
Yeah. Very important. Very important. But final point I like to make in this is that don't confuse your sustainability intentions in your work with marketing. Okay? Don't do sustainability for marketing. Okay?
That's a great statement there. Don't do sustainability just for marketing.
First of all, use it for awareness.
Yeah.
There's a difference between awareness and marketing. Okay? So I think that's where it starts. And I think if you start with the right attitude, with the right intent, and work honestly through this, I can guarantee you that any business can find ways of getting involved and at the end of the day, saving money.
That's a very powerful but simple concept also.
Yes.
So start with the intent. Munir, why are you in this job? It seems like a very complex undertaking. You're working between corporate entities, governments, communities, and all of that. What do you hope would be your legacy in this kind of a, calling in your career?
Well, that's a fascinating question. A question that I've been thinking about all the time. It's about 2-3 years ago when I decided that I'll be leaving my work at the AKDN as a diplomat. I was wondering, what would I do? And 2 or 3 things came to my mind right away. First, I realized very early on that AI and technology is the future. Almost anything and everything will be part of this. So I started learning about AI and the work that's being done. And I was very privileged and very humbled to have a wonderful professor at Harvard Business School, Dr. Karim Lakhani, who I met, and we were good friends, and he kind of mentored me on some of these ideas. So I started learning more and more about it, and I'm keeping on learning about it. And those of you who are interested, again, I don't want to plug HBS, but they have a department called D-Cube, which is a very easy, very reasonable way of learning AI and how it can impact your business and your life. So I started doing that, and I started really enjoying my work. And then I saw some very practical applications. For example, healthcare in Bangladesh. And we were very, very excited about this prospect. This model now can be transplanted into any economies, any country in the world where it's having a hard time dealing with healthcare, including the UK, Canada, and everywhere else.
Yeah.
So that became one of my calling to get deeper into AI and technology, and I'm glad I did that. Having worked in some of the most environmentally stunning venues. So, for example, working in Central Asia, I used to look at the Pamir Mountains, the Hindu Kush, and I really took on this love for the environment. And when I started seeing that, there are certain challenges. So, for example, you may know that one of the key sources of fresh water for millions of communities living in the valleys in Central Asia comes from the glaciers high up in the mountains.
Yeah.
And they provide fresh water to all these communities. Unfortunately, those glaciers are disappearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Global warming, there you
Global
go.
warming. And so this is a real challenge. So I saw that firsthand. While in Bangladesh, I was devastated to see every year the flooding that happens.
The natural calamities.
The natural issues that come up. But more importantly, what I'm really worried about Bangladesh and other countries, which are low-lying countries, and it is expected that in next 10, 20 years, the rising sea waters will have tremendous impact in a densely populated country like Bangladesh, where we've got 170, 180 million people, and they're expecting some 20, 30 million people to be displaced. Now, where do they go?
Very alarming.
How do they earn their livelihoods? So those were the areas that really got me excited about AI and technology and environment and sustainability.
I'm so glad you're doing your part, and we need to participate.
Well, I'm doing my best, and at this advanced age, I decided to go back to school, and I'm just loving it.
Always learning.
Always learning. Always. You see, one of the important things in life is that you stay to your purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, you find your purpose, and I will never forget two professors I like to name here, which I hope the audience can look them up. One is the late Clayton Christensen of Harvard Business School, who left us too early because of his medical issues and challenges. And he gave a lecture in our course about how would you measure your life. And if anybody has a chance, please go back to this.
That's a huge question.
To this TED lecture and other books that he has written. And it'll really focus on what is important in your life.
That's true.
And if you are able to do that, unfortunately, many people around the world are busy just trying to meet their daily needs and daily wants, and they don't have those opportunities. But we are fortunate. We have certain opportunities to do that. So when you look at that and you look at how others see how you measure your life at the end of the day, I think it's an eye opener. And the second person is Bill Rogers, who wrote a book on finding true north. Like, what is your true north?
Yes.
What is this all about? And I think those are the two people who influenced my life going forward. And so, I really look forward to that. And hopefully I can live up to some of those ideas.
Well, all the best on your advocacies, Munir. But before we go,
Yes.
just a quick one. One last piece of advice to the entrepreneur there who's trying to build something.
Yes. So a couple of ideas, right? I think it's very important. One of the non-negotiables, at least for me, is authenticity. I really mean that. Okay, you need to be authentic. Sustainability is not just a slogan.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that. Sustainability is not just a slogan.
It's not a slogan, and your staff, your employees, your partners will see right through it. Okay, sooner or later they'll catch up with you. Okay, but authenticity itself must rest in some ethical framework. So it's the two things going together. Okay, so I really hope that people who are starting out, take these two matters very, very seriously. And if you are exploiting labor, you are misleading consumers, you're hiding your footprint, right? Then you'll be caught out sooner or later.
It's bound to come out.
So I think that is very important.
Yeah.
And what happens is this, okay? What happens in this magically, okay? You follow good governance, which builds trust, okay? You follow good practice in an ethical way. You'll change your culture. You'll change your culture of your organization.
Yes.
Okay. And Ishwar, our good friend, said, I think in his podcast, was that you can't copy culture.
Yeah.
So you can take a patent from somebody, you can transfer technology to one country to other, one company to the other, but you can't copy culture.
You can't.
Now, how do you get culture? This is the way I think that all starting entrepreneurs have a wonderful opportunity to use this as basics. Start with those notions. Again, start small. And don't try to be solo. Don't try to solve all the world problems by yourself.
Bring the whole team and collaborate,
Bring the whole team together
with other parties.
And also don't forget academia.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, one of the advantages of going to this program at MIT was that while you're doing your course studies, so there are 5 courses they run 1 year. Within those courses, we have to develop as a group a real company that's going to make real impact. So our group has decided to launch a company which will be based in Saudi Arabia to see how we can recycle e-waste. So when you're done with your phone, what do you do with it?
Yeah. So you get to collaborate with other parties also and get to learn on the way.
Exactly. And everybody can be part of that.
Excellent.
So for example, we'll be going to certain retailers, okay, box retailers or whatever it is, who sell iPhones or who sell other phones. They will have an opportunity to collect these phones, okay? And we will be giving you a live kind of a progress report on where has your phone gone and what type of rare materials that were harnessed from your phone and where have they gone to be recycled.
Yeah. That's a great project.
Yeah. So you can use it, but don't do it alone.
Yeah.
Collaborate with others. Yeah.
And make some impact. Last question for today, Munir. What would you say to a younger Munir? What's your advice to a younger you?
So many. I've learned so much in 40 years. I wish I knew that when I was starting out.
What's a small piece of advice?
Oh my goodness. I have to think about that. You see, one of the things that I have truly been blessed with, and I have truly benefited of being part of some transformational work with the network, with the AKDN. I'll give you one example. When I first ended up in Central Asia, I traveled to the Badakhshan province of Afghanistan, which was bordering Tajikistan. So we just crossed the river. And I was horrified to learn that some of the infant and maternal mortality rates are through the charts, right? And so one of the first projects we did was to put in a women's healthcare center. And I was absolutely moved that on the day this center opened, a young lady and a baby were saved because one of the first C-sections that was done, right? That's transformational. So what I would suggest is that to myself, if I could go back, is that get involved with ideas and projects that make an impact. Don't get distracted, with the noise and the urgencies. Now, easy to say that, right? Secondly, which I think is very important, is that work with others, trust others, but also verify.
Great piece of advice there.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of things not go the right way. So you need to be careful out there and make sure that you meet the right people and you are doing the right things, but make sure you are keeping yourself, and of course, go with your purpose. I wish I'd done that many years ago. Is go with your purpose, go with your true north.
True north. You have so much time to make impact, impact,
and make a difference, and just live a simple life.
Thank you.
And one more thing I need to share with you. The last piece is that, on leadership, sometimes we confuse leadership as only leading others and knowing it all and all that. I don't think that's leadership in my view. I think leadership is that when you're leading a company, when you're starting out something, true leadership means empowering, training others, and make sure that they are able to lead in the future.
That's excellent.
And I think that's
empower people.
I think that's what it's all about.
Thank you so much, Munir. We've got so many great lessons from you today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming, and we hope to have another conversation with you about AI in the future. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's my other passion now.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your listening, staying with us for this amount of time, and I hope that you got all this information to inspire you on your next move towards sustainability, whether you're a small company or a medium-sized company or a big corporate entity. There's room for everybody in the sustainability space, right? And as Munir said, sustainability is not a slogan, guys.
No.
Start with good intentions, participate, collaborate with people, and remember that sustainability is all about meeting the needs of today without compromising our future. So I learned that from you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was a real pleasure meeting you today.
Excellent. So we will see you guys in the next episode. Thank you so much for staying with us. Goodbye now.
Please subscribe to our channel and share our content. For more actionable insights on brand and business building, follow us on our agency's social media pages, illustrato.co, or subscribe to our newsletter via our website, www.illustrato.co.